Hello, my name is Gretchen and this is my show. I like doing accents, so you know, during the course of the filming of this show, you're going to see lots of different accents. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, I said my name is Gretchen, right? Okay, that we got. Right, I have always struggled with food issues in the past. I'm putting everything in the past because the affirmations I've read have said, you know, you say what you want to be true as if it's already true, and you say it in the present tense, right? So not in the future, because then it's always like out of your grasp, right? Like not I will be thin, but I will get to my goal weight, but that I currently am thin and I currently am at my goal weight. So that all said, I'm going to be sprinkling bits of truth that I've read from lots of books, because I love reading self-help books, and so I will be sprinkling bits of truth. So if you can stand, oh sorry, I keep looking over to the side because I've got my little camera set up. I'm doing this all by myself. This is like a micro budget, no budget, low budget, zero budget documentary film that I'm doing all by my lonesome. So I keep looking over at the monitor. But I'll try to stay focused on you so that we can connect, right? We're going to connect, okay? So that we can go through this journey together, so that while I lose the weight and get fit and trim and healthy and do a makeover, and I don't have any professionals who are going to style me, so I'm going to style myself, you know? We can all sit on the couch and watch those shows like, I can't use names because I don't want to get in trouble legally, because I don't want to fight with anybody. We can all watch those, you know, workout makeover shows where some like professional trainer comes in and like, you know, stays with people and makes them work out for months at a time, or they all go to a camp and they work out together and then they lose all this weight, and that's all very inspiring. But how are you supposed to do that at home by yourself? No, I know you're sitting at home watching the makeover shows going, right, okay, eating your crisps, right, saying I'm not going to do that. Well, that was me. That was me, I tell you. And then one day I said, all right, I don't even really watch makeup shows, but I started watching one, and I thought, right, instead of just sitting there watching it, I'm going to actually do it. So my hope is that seeing me on my journey transform from someone who weighs 188 pounds as of this morning, which would be a bummer, except that I actually weighed 190 pounds yesterday. So 2 pounds lost, that's almost a kilo for you actual Aussies and actual Brits and actual people who use kilograms. It's so funny to me that the Brits, you know, take the piss out of the Americans for not using the kilogram system. Yet they talk about a stone. Like, oh, I lost a stone, I gained a stone, I gained half a stone. What the hell is a stone? Like, a long time ago, some guy walked around and said, oh, this is a stone. And then, oh, here's another stone. Well, apparently a stone is 16 pounds. So, you can figure that out in kilograms if you want. But for the Americans, a stone is 16 pounds. Why people would want to measure themselves in 16-pound increments is completely backward and crazy to me. So please do not make fun of Americans anymore for using the pound system. Thank you very much. And I will say, because I used to, okay, so we're going off on a bit of a tangent here, but I just, you know, tangents are fun. It's stream of consciousness. I mean, what's her name? The woman who wrote A Room of One's Own? Virginia Woolf, right. So Virginia Woolf was all about writing stream of consciousness, which I also like to do. I like to write, but now I'm doing video stream of consciousness. So anyway, so I used to live in Japan, and I used to work with Aussies and Brits and Kiwis, and they were always going on and on about how stupid Americans were and how ridiculous they were. But in general, most Americans are really great people and we're actually relatively smart. But this is how smug the British are. Okay, so I've stopped. I'm actually American. Let's go back to the story. So anyway, I was in London, right? And this guy found out I was American, and he said, oh, well, I've got 3 questions for you. And I was like, okay, go ahead, hit me. And he said, what did he say? He said, if you were to take Alaska and put one bit of Alaska, like one border of Alaska, against the California, how far into the United States would it extend before you get to the other border of Alaska? And I said, well, I think it would actually go past the East Coast. And he was like, oh my gosh, you're right. He was like, okay, all right. I said, what's the second question? He said, what's the capital of Australia? And I was like, I think it's Canberra. And he was like, oh, what? No American I've ever asked knew the answer to that question. And I said, okay, so what's the third question? He said, well, I haven't got a third question. No one ever gets past the second. And I was like, okay. I felt both sort of proud and sort of embarrassed at the same time. So anyway, so we can all agree that most Americans aren't that great at geography. But we also live in a country that is like, I don't know, twice the size of Europe, if not more, of like the whole of Europe. Or, you know, Europeans are always going on and on about how Americans never travel. And like literally it takes me, if I get in my car and want to go and visit my sister who only lives one state away, it's like a 6-hour drive. That's like practically from the south of England up to the north. I mean, maybe not entirely. Maybe if I want to see my other sister, it's like about a 17-hour drive. And, you know, so when you're going from state to state and it takes like you literally to fly from my part of the country to the East Coast, it's an all-day flight. So where was I going with this? Right. So, stream of consciousness, weight loss program. Right now I'm doing an Australian accent, probably a bad one, whatever, I don't care. And later I might do like a British one or a Scottish one or something. But anyway, today it's Australian, because I've been watching some Australian telly. So anyway, so back to the makeover portion of the show. Now, a little backstory on me. I've always in the past had some issues with food. This is kind of like a pseudo mockumentary, but not really, because I'm breaking character by telling you that I'm breaking character. So whatever. You film nuts can criticize all you want. I want to be all about the love, man. All about like love and peace and joy. Like, you can figure it out. Anyway, so I came back from Japan weighing about 128 pounds, which is about, I don't know, 58, 60 kilograms, I'm not sure. Anyway, and then over the course, that was about 22 years ago, and over the course of about 10 years, I gained about 10 pounds. And then over the next 10 years, I gained another 10 pounds, and then this is the scary part. Last year, between last March and this March, I've gained another 10 pounds. So, yeah, that's not really good trend. So I'm going to reverse that trend starting, well, not really starting today. I started filming it today, but I actually started this process maybe about a week ago. Well, I started the process of exercising a week ago, but about 2 days ago, I was doing my normal, like, trying to eat healthy. But then I ended up eating a bunch of crap pretty much all day long. And people who have had food issues in their life can probably relate to that. They've tried every diet, and like a lot of people try diets and lose weight and then gain weight. I was one of those people who in the past, you know, would try a diet and couldn't actually stick to it for more than a day or two. So, and I found that certain things are very addictive, namely sugar. And I not only like to make documentaries, I like to watch them. And, you know, sugar can be very inflammatory, not good for your heart, can cause diabetes, heart disease, blah. And the sugar industry really did a job on the American people and then the world by basically having some not so great science put in behind their product saying that it was absolutely fine. So then the Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, which is like the government overlord of our food and drugs in the United States, said, okay, fine then, you can put sugar in everything. So then recently people have gotten a little scared of sugar, and so now they put high fructose corn syrup and everything. And of course it's like made from genetically modified corn, which is definitely not good for you. And again, the people watching, the scientists will say, well, where's the proof? Who knows? Bottom line, here's the proof, right? Sugar, high fructose corn syrup, okay? Which is all fine and good unless you don't want it, right? If you have it and you love it, that's fine. I have it, I don't love it. So I am, over the next 4 months, going to make myself over by eating properly and exercising. 2 things that I have tried to do in the past and not been terribly successful at, obviously. So what's going to be different this time? Well, this time, what is going to be different this time? I'm going to do it this time. That's what's going to be different. Came up with the answer. So I am going to do it, and I've actually bought some healthier foods, and by healthier for me, I'm not advocating any sort of diet or any sort of weight loss program. Talk to your doctor or your naturopath or your acupuncturist or whoever you want to talk to and find out what's best for you. But for me, and I've talked to my doctor and I've talked to them, and they just told me to read. They said there are lots of diet books out there. Go read them and pick one. Thanks, MD. Thanks. Got it. And I also talked to the acupuncturist. Well, actually, she was an Ayurvedic person, and she was like, oh, eat this. And I ate that, and it made me starving. I would eat that, and I'd be like, give me more. And I would just have a right binge, right? So that didn't quite work. But the thing that I have had experience, so I'm at this point, I'm going with what my body tells me, right? And my body tells me that eating certain carbs, especially refined wheat, makes me just want more and more and more and more and more. And eating certain foods, especially refined sugar, cakes, cookies, candies, ice cream, makes me want more. Just like an alcoholic. The saying goes, 1 is too many and 1,000 is never enough when it comes to certain foods for certain people, right? Different bodies react different ways. So anyway, this is day 1, entry 1. I don't really know what my BMI is, but BMI is not a great measurement because it just measures, it stands for body mass index, right? And it's not a great measurement because it's just height versus weight. But like, if you're a bodybuilder and you weigh like 200 pounds and you're 5'7", but it's like 200 pounds of muscle, they're gonna say your BMI is too high and that you're obese. So that's ridiculous. It's really about body fat percentage. So you need to find a place where you can measure your body fat percentage. Now, last time I actually measured mine, it was about 30%, and that was like 10 years ago. So I would imagine, and I was about 20 pounds lighter. So yeah, I'm not going to do the math on that one, but that's going to change. And my goal, I'm going to state it right here and now. I'm a bit embarrassed, but I'm going to do it anyway, is to be 128 pounds. That's what I was when I left Japan 22 years ago. And it felt like a very unrealistic goal for me, but I finally just changed my mind and decided that go for it. Just go for it, right? Right, Gretchen? Just go for it. So I'm going for it. And so, like I said, I'm getting rid of the refined carbs. I'm getting rid of the refined sugar. And I'm exercising at least 3 times a week. Well, 3 to 5 times a week for at least 25 minutes. So anyway, here we go. And good luck to us both.